Hi guys, I'm back. Okay, so now we're continuing on with this tag. Just want to make sure I'm going to be in frame. Just a second. There we go. Alright, so we're continuing on with this tag. Remember we left off with the tag. I had sprayed it with some sprays, with some Tim Holtz Distress inks. And it had to dry. And it had to dry overnight because it was like, it had a lot on there. In fact, there's still a little bit of wetness on here. Just a second. Any wetness that's left on it can just, let me just dab it off. It was just a little bit right there. No major. But anyway, I think this is gorgeous. Don't want this to be the top. Yeah, let's change that around. Let's have that be the top and this be the bottom. I think. Is that what I want? Or do I want it like this? No, we'll do it like this. I've been used to looking at it like this anyway. Okay, so what we need to do is, now that we have this all dry, we're going to use some Inca Gold, okay? If you don't have Inca Gold, okay, it's called Inca Gold no matter what the color is, but this is gold. This is very much worth buying. You get it at Joann's. It's expensive. It's like $8, but use a coupon, so you'll spend $4 or $5. You'll have it forever. If it dries out, you guys, because it tends to dry out, you can just put a little bit of glycerin in here and take like a knife or a butter knife, and just keep mixing it with glycerin, and it will totally reconstitute it. And then this one lady said to keep it moist, to keep a wet baby wipe in the top of it. Oh, and then by using the glycerin, it acts as a natural preservative, so it won't get moldy. So anyway, so I had to do that, and this is so nice now again, nice and smooth again. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you, because I've seen a lot of, I've heard of a lot of people that have ran into that this Inca Gold dries up. And they have all kinds of colors, you guys. They're just beautiful, beautiful. They're like paste, like a type of paste. I love it. And so it's like a rub and buff, if you ever heard of that. But I like this even better than rub and buff. So, it just gives that gold, real pretty gold sheen, and brings things out a little bit. I have like 5 or 6 other colors. I love this stuff. You know what I want to try? I just want to put a little. Do I want to put a? Nah, forget it. I was going to add a little something else, but you know what? Forget it. You have to get to the point where you stop adding. Easier said than done. Okay, so I'm just keep adding a little bit of this here and there. Ooh, down here on this thing. Okay, just a little bit more here and there, and we'll be done. And it kind of just hits all the high spots. Okay, that is good right there. Love this stuff. And this is only my second jar in the last 5 years of buying it. And I wouldn't have actually even used the first one up already, probably. I still would have had it. It dried out. Oops, I almost forgot to put the baby wipe. But it dried out, and I hadn't heard about the reconstituting it with glycerin, and I already had thrown it away. But as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, thank goodness. So I'm going to take my baby wipe, I re-wet it, and I'll just put it back in there. And that seems to be working awesome. Love it. Okay, let me put that away. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to use some black ink. I just want to use some black ink drips. So I just have some liquid black acrylic Daler-Rowney. We got these, a lot of people got these last year. They were like $1.25 or something on clearance. It's the kind of ink that goes into like a calligraphy pen. But it works for mixed media perfectly. Okay. So I'm going to do some black drips. And if I go out of frame, excuse me, I'll be back in frame in a second. Gotta drip some. There we go. Get this going. There we go. And okay. Like I said, if I get out of frame, you guys excuse me. I'll be back in frame in just a minute. Okay, and then we're going to do one more black little drip down here. Let me close that ink up. If I can see myself spilling that. Okay. Very, very cool. All right, just a second, you guys. I'm really turning it up just a little bit just to really get those drips going. Very, very cool. Okay, so now we got some black drips, which I think looks really cool. Make sure you guys are seeing that. See? Okay. And then I want to edge everything out before we put our heart on. I want to edge this out with black. With my black color stick. And just kind of go along the edge to kind of give a framing. Okay, let me wipe this off. I got a little ink of gold on there. I don't know what that ink of gold will do, but I don't want it on my color stick. There we go. All right, and then we'll take some water in a brush and just kind of go along the edge a little bit. Okay. Give myself a nice little grungy border going around. Very nice. Love it. The grungier the better. Grungy but pretty. I love that the difference, having grunge but having it be really, really pretty all at the same time. Okay, so let's just get the dryer out and blow dry this. If you want, fast forward, and I'll be back in a second after I dry this. Okay, this is gorgeous. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take our heart. Remember we talked about that? Isn't that gorgeous? And that's going, it's my little patched heart. Remember I said I'm using this as art therapy for myself. It's like a little patched heart, like I'm patching myself back together. Okay, that's what that represents. And that's going to go right here in the center. Bam! Okay, and then I did edge it. I did edge it already. I kind of smoked out around here with a little bit of black, which I think I want to do a little bit more. I think it could be a little bit more. I did it, but yeah, I don't know. It needs more. Kind of frame this a little more. Frame my heart. And if you missed, if you're watching, this is the last of the series. These are probably, this video and probably the next video are going to be the last two videos. So if you missed any of this, because this is at towards the end now, go back. It's a long series, but it's really fun. And just kind of go back and check those out so you kind of understand how we got here, what we're working on. Because you might be like, well, how did you do all the rest of it? Well, just go back through the videos and you'll see. Well worth going back to the videos. It's a lot of fun things, a lot of inspiration, a lot of things to learn. Kind of see where we're at. Okay, perfect. Now I like that. It's grungier now and it has a little more of a frame on it. Okay. Let me get a baby wipe to wipe my fingers off. Just a second. Okay. And then let me dry them. All right. Now, I have my hot glue gun already warmed over here. Yes, I thought ahead. So here's my hot glue gun. And we're just going to hot glue this on. Okay. Perfect. And I'm going to have a whole video on exactly how I kind of explained and did some of these little patched hearts. I think this is going to be a thing that I'm going to do a lot of patch hearts. I think these would be really nice to have on hand when you do like friend mail and to send people these little patched hearts, these that have stitches in them. I think that would be really, really, really neat. So I want to make a bunch of those and kind of have them on hand like little cards. And then have like a message on the back or have a message on the front of them, whichever. Okay, just let me just hold this for a second until it attaches. Okay, is that attached? Let me just throw a little more hot glue on here. Hopefully it's dry enough. If it's not, we'll reattach it once it dries if it's not dry enough. But it should be. And you could always, if you don't want to use hot glue, you can always take E6000. You can do that, or you can do both. A lot of times I do both. I'll do E6000 and I'll do a hot glue. So hot glue for the instant adhesion and E6000 for just to make sure it stays there forever. But when you're doing paper on paper or cardboard and stuff like that, hot glue is perfect for that. Okay. Yep, it's on there now. So this is how this turned out. Isn't that pretty, you guys? I think it turned out so pretty. And it's just one small step after the next, after the next, after the next. Or I should say it's just one small layer after the next, after the next. Yeah, I think that turned out so pretty. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. This will go into one of the pockets in our on our page. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. Next, we're going to start another tag. This is our last tag of this whole thing. And then we'll have all of our tags to go in our pocket in our book. Okay, So we're going to start out, let me get my Mod. I make a homemade Mod Podge, and it is a flat Mod Podge. So it's more like a matte medium. Just a second. Oh my gosh. Just a second. I have to break the seal for some reason. Sorry about the noise, guys. Okay. I don't normally have to break the seal on that because I use it so often. That's kind of weird. Oof. All right. Let me get this. Wipe that paint up so I can put my Mod Podge there. Okay. All right, so we're going to start like we always do with some ephemera on the back. Instead of little small pieces, though, I got some other stuff I'm going to use today. I remember I told you I want to start taking advantage of my scrapbook paper. Look at all these cool stuff. This is all Tim Holtz paper. Let me see how far away you guys are from me. Okay, look at all these cool things. This is all Tim Holtz paper. I love it. And I just went to going through a bunch of my really, really fun scrapbook paper. And I have so much cool scrapbook paper. So we're going to use some of it today on this. You know what? We'll just... Actually, I think it'll be better just to tear it. Okay, so let's glue these two on. That... I definitely want to use this butterfly. That's going to be cool. So we'll glue that on. We'll glue this on. I want to have some of this map on there. Let's do some of that. Okay. So let's start gluing. Oh, and you know what I need to do? Let me put this here. I need to do it on a magazine. Again, for the sake of drawing time, a lot of times you guys will see me, I'll put it right on top. I'll glue it down and then I'll put the Mod Podge on top for extra sealing. But I just don't have time for that to dry. So we're just going to put it... Put that over there. We're just going to put it on the one side. So we don't have to worry about any drying time. Because we don't have time for all that. Okay, we'll put that there. Or like this. We'll put that there. But I do like putting the Mod Podge on top, because then I like to put the gesso on top of that. I like to put the gesso on top of the wet Mod Podge, and then when it dries, it makes a crackle, so it makes another texture. So that's really cool too. You guys have seen me do that. I love it. Okay, so we want to put this map on here too. Let's fold it and trim this map up a little bit. Put this right. We'll put it right there. All right. Okay. Okay. And we'll put this like right here. So get your scrapbook paper out and use it, because you know we all have so much scrapbook paper that we like never use, you know. So this is a way to use your scrapbook paper and put it in your mixed media. So I mean, these are Tim Holtz paper pads, you guys. I've had forever. Oh my god. So today I went through them, and I pulled out just took out tons of cool stuff to work with my mixed media, so I'm super excited. And when you go through your stuff like that, it makes you more excited to create. Okay, let's do this one here. Because you want to use this and you want to use that, and then it gives you more ideas too. So start going through some of your papers, and even if they're papers where you're like, oh, I don't want to rip those up, rip them up, you guys, and use them in your mixed media. You'll be so happy you did. And then you're using your stuff. I mean, we buy all this stuff. We should be using it. Right? Right. And this is the thing I think of. I still have it. It's not like I don't have it anymore. I just have it now in a project, which is way better than just sitting in my craft room or my art studio space, right? Way better, in my opinion. Okay, we're gonna put that there. Okay. Put that right on top of Wyatt. Okay. And let me see what else I want to use. I have so much cool stuff I want to use. I want to do some more butterflies. Let's do that right there. And where do we need to tear it off at? Right, about right there. Okay. Okay, so we'll put this butterfly. Make sure that's down. There we go. We'll put that butterfly right there. Turn the page here. Okay. So this is going to make a beautiful base for all the other mixed media on top of this. Just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And then what else do we want to do? I have, yeah, we'll do another one of these little small ones. Just 1 second, you guys. I'm going to cut this out here. And that'll fit right there. Fabulous. And I see a couple little spaces where I can take a little bit of, like, you know how I always have music note paper and book note paper just all ripped up, ready to go. A piece of that right here would be kind of cool. Like right into here. Love that. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna put a little notebook piece of paper right there. And that'll go right there. Okay, and we will stop here. And we'll go on to the next thing. Let's also check my camera. See, make sure you guys are still there. Make sure about our time situation. Okay, we're at 24 minutes, so it's probably, my camera's probably going to start another video. So just go ahead whenever this cuts off and head to the next one. Okay, so I'm going to put all my cool, really super cool collage bits. Let me gather these up and we'll put these away. My container. Well, we'll just throw this on the ground for now. There we go. Okay, so here we are with this. Let me turn the page here. You know, I think this one's all used up, basically. Is it? Yeah, it is. I'll throw that one away. Okay. Next, we're gonna do some stenciling and mark making. Okay, so let me put that away. X. All right, just a second while I just do a little cleanup, you guys, until we get to the next step. Wiping off my hands. Okay, so next we are going to use some of this paint here. This is Dilutions, and it's like a bubblegum pink, it's called. I think this color is gorgeous. We're going to use that. We're going to use this turquoisey color. It's called Vibrant Turquoise. And then I'm going to use some of this dioxin, whatever, purple by Americana. I love this purple. It's so pretty. We'll put that on my little paint tray over here. Okay. And here we're going to work out of the lid. Oh, I was going to get that little bit of blue out of there, but whatever. Okay, and then we need to get ourselves some makeup sponges. We'll get 3 different ones. And then we're just going to start making some marks. Okay, this is a, I wanted to use some stuff that's not stuff that, you know, that's even expensive. This you buy at Dollar Tree. It's like the, those mats for, use the bottom of your cupboards. Shelf lining. That's all it is. So we're just going to make some marks with this. See the cool mark it makes? I love it. Okay. And then let's take a different end of it. And we'll dip it into the turquoise. Let me dip it over here a little bit. Okay, just getting a little bit. And this is just mark making. We're going to go on with some stencil too, but I just wanted to make some marks with things that, and this is like, I don't know, from a toy thing I bought at a bunch of little foam pieces I bought at, I don't know, I think Dollar Tree. Yeah. Well, let's make a little bit of the purple. Oh, this makes a cool mark. I love it. I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you guys can see a little bit more here in just a second. Love it. Okay, so it just makes these little marks. Okay. All right, so let's move those to the side. Here's some bubble wrap too. We'll probably use that in a little bit with some white when I feel like we want to do that. Okay, now we're going to use some stencils. So those are things like if you had no stencils, you could just go around your house and find things to make marks and go with that instead of going in with stencils. Just do that. Continue on. I just wanted to show you that because you don't have to. Well, one thing, it makes your stuff more original when you add things like that in because you're just making marks, you know. Nobody's gonna have that mark maker, you know. So, or at least it's not gonna come out. No mark is gonna come out the same. So it's going to be more original, even than the stencil I'm using. So, okay, here's another stencil. There we go. That you kind of see what we're doing. Gotta go over there. And I don't want anything really perfect at all. Just making nice marks, nice background. Just layer after layer. Okay. Very cool. I'm going to take that same stencil and I'm going to use this blue. Okay. I love this stencil. We're going to keep going with this stencil, and we're going to do purple with this one too. Okay. Okay. Now, did I use this one yet? I don't think I used this one. No, I did not. So let's use this one. Cool. And you just keep playing, making marks. Ooh, my hand got into that blue. And then my blue got into my lid. Okay. And just keep going, just keep making marks with the stencil. Okay. Cool. And then on the side here, there's some numbers that are on the side here. I'm gonna take the stencil here and put a bunch of numbers on the side. And what do I want? I'm gonna use this color. You know what? I gotta use a different sponge. I got a lot of blue on there. Cool. That looks awesome. Okay, so we got a bunch of crazy layers. I'm just trying to make sure if I want anything else on here or not. We probably have enough craziness going on. You know what? I have another stencil. Well, I got a million stencils, but... And if you're looking for stencils, like a good price, because stencils can be expensive, Hobby Lobby right now is clearancing out a lot of, not clearance, well, clearancing out 75%.